Game on! Battlefield of Eternity, map number 1 in the best of 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at Division S again, and we have Granit Gaming going up against Divine Vendetta. And some of you might ask right now, wait, what? Who the hell's Divine Vendetta? We kind of wrapped our thoughts around having one team replace coming through, but who are these guys? And well, if you haven't caught up from the names alone already, that is the Meme Machine. Meme Machine got picked up by a smaller orc or team, and that is Divine Vendetta, so that's where the new name comes from. And there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period where everybody knows that, but yeah, just so that you guys are updated here. It's a best of 5. We're on the first playday of Division S. We already had 2 best of 5s, which were pretty cool, but now we have Granit Gaming going up against Divine Vendetta. And I gotta admit, Granit Gaming, definitely the favorite in the series. Boy, are these guys looking good these days. So we're gonna find out if Divine Vendetta has a couple of strategies that can throw against them to take them out here. But well, for now we have Maiev and Zeret who will band out right away. So again, the 2 engaged assassins, especially Maiev, of course, usually hated. Battlefield of Eternity, I mean, again, HANZO, fantastic. Tyrande, great. Li Ming, priority pick. All 3 of them are very, very good on this map. Enubarak, very high in the meta right now, which also forces oftentimes your hand a little bit on the Li Ming pick. Who's gonna pick it? Do you try and pick it away from your opponent? Do you want to play it against the Cocoon? That's a big question there. There's a couple of noob traps, of course, on Battlefield of Eternity as well. Artanis being one of the biggest ones, but usually don't see that within Division S played unless it really fits the composition. But that's a trap that, especially when you're looking at Hero League, a lot of people fall into. But now we're having HANZO banned out, Diablo's banned out too, and with the first pick, I mean, for me, the question is simply Enubarak, Tyrande. Those are usually the 2 go-tos for the early pick here. There's a couple of variations where you can go into other heroes as well, but the 2 that are picked the most here on these are those. But it's Ana. Ana with a setup so that you can play around Jaina, for example. Li Ming also becomes a bit strong here. So now I would expect that we're going to see... Well, if they want to pick Li Ming away from this combo, that would be the moment to do it. That would be the moment to say, okay, yep, there we have it. Sharonto picks Li Ming. We have Tyrande taken. So 2 of the heroes that I pointed out earlier that are fantastic on the map already taken by Granit Gaming. HANZO banned out, so those were the 2 remaining. The only other one that we talked about was Enubarak. So let's see who picks him up. Pretty sure that Granit Gaming would probably like to play him, but then again, Lauba plays a lot of ETC. ETC is great on Battlefield of Eternity if you're good as ETC player as well. But yeah, there's the Enubarak pick. So now Li Ming, of course, can easily burn on the Cocoon. Reyna, definitely a good choice from Divine Vendetta. But the start that we have for Granit Gaming is pretty solid. That's a pretty solid start right there. Having the Tyrande and Li Ming set up, picking Li Ming away from the Ana composition, banning out Jaina. Just trying to make sure that the nano boost is not getting too much value here for Divine Vendetta. So a pretty awesome setup that we are actually seeing here from Granit Gaming. Early in the draft still, but it's a good start for them. Are we seeing a frontline ban here from Divine Vendetta? They could go on your offlane and ban out something there, but we still have Garrosh around. Haha, Tracer. Yeah, Tai and his Tracer. It's a good ban. I actually didn't even think about that. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna get for Tai. Might be able that he switches over to Li Ming as well. His Li Ming is pretty solid. Very good, actually. But yeah. I'm a little bit interested to see what the tank is gonna be. What Lauba is gonna play here. Ah, ETC, you see? That was his old go-to. Lauba made a name for himself playing ETC. And yep, it's always a favorite of his. Now that we have Fury on Thrall, that is still interesting, because it could be the offlane, but you can run him in the 4-man here with Crash Lightning as well if you want to. And we're seeing Arthas and Alarak on the other side. So alright, Divine Vendetta with a triple frontline. I mean, it's a lot of control that they have with the setup for sure. And Reyna should be fairly safe in the backline to dish the damage out, but what are we going to get on the last pick? Are we going to see another melee and then Thrall switching over into the 4-man? Or is Thrall going to be on the solo against Arthas alone? Ah, it's hammer time, boys. It is hammer time. Okay, Battlefield of Eternity, game number 1 in the best of 5 series, as we see the former Meme Machine, now Divine Vendetta, go up against Granit Gaming. Game number 1, Granit Gaming against Divine Vendetta. The former meme machine on the right in red, and to the left, Lauber on ETC. We're seeing Henning on Tyrande, Cheronto on Li Ming, Fury on Thrall, and Tai on Sergeant Hammer. And on the right side, a Nubarak, played by Death Knight, Born on Arthas, Martin on Anna. We have Smaragd on Reyna, and Slake on Alarak. Alrighty, game on. Let's see how that works out. Echo of Elements obviously taken here. At this point, we're having... Well, I mean, again, you can either play 3 melees and then rotate Thrall into the 4-man and play Crash Lightning, or if you're playing the solo lane with him, then you really want to play Echo of Elements. We had a couple of Thralls recently that actually played Crash Lightning on the solo lane, and it was really, really tricky for them to get any kind of value out of the level 1 talent. So this setup definitely working a little bit better. It's obviously largely a protect the hammer composition. There is still potential for aggression around simply ETC, power slide into Tyrande stun, plus the setup for Li Ming, but hammer is going to be one of the main pressure points and threat points here. Now Death Knight has a Legion of Beetles as his level 1 talent choice. Gonna play around that. He eats the stun here for sure, at least we're seeing Lauber eating the silence. We'll have to keep our eyes out on Alarak as well. He's a hero that actually gets played quite a bit on Battlefield of Eternity these days. And I am really interested to see, yes, that, how the setup's gonna work for Tyrande with those stuns. Henning is brutal on Tyrande. I mean, this guy is really, really good. We saw a fantastic game from Smexy the other day for Team Washed Up, where they did exceptionally well with just following up stun after stun after stun, and Smexy was murdering it. But just in general, Henning is really, really good on that hero too. It's one of the go-tos for him as well. Sheronto actually dodging the penetrating round from Smaragd here. Alright, well done. Nice pressure at the bottom of the map here from Granit Gaming. Again, they are the favorite heading into this right now. So we're gonna see how this is going to work long term for Divine Vendetta if they find an angle where they can drop hammer and break through that pressure. Because it's one of these things, right? If you're getting pressured the entire time and you can never really break through, at some point you're likely to crumble. And if that point comes for them, they're going to be in trouble here. Arthas will try to delay the stacking process of Thrall as much as he can. 7 stacks at this point for Thrall on the Echo of Elements. And one way that you can do it, I mean, pretty easy, is you see a minion go down and you want to stand on the minion. The same way that Born has done right now. He just walks around the low HP minion the entire time. Exactly like this. This is a perfect play from Born here. The reason for that is really simple. Chain Lightning is a point and click spell. So what you want to do as a Thrall player with Echo of Elements, you're trying to get all of the minions low, hit the Chain Lightning, and then kill them shortly after, or with the Chain Lightning itself. But if your opponent just stands on that minion, you can't target it properly. So it makes it very difficult for you to get your stacks together. So it's a really, really nice play here by Born to make sure that he is keeping Thrall off the quest completion for as long as he can. Now, don't get me wrong, eventually Thrall is going to complete it. You won't be able to deny that forever. It's an easy talent to complete. On a high level, you see a lot of players getting that at 330 even. Or a little bit later. But if you can keep Thrall in a position where he actually doesn't get the quest completed by the first objective on the map, that at least gives you a little bit more wiggle room around the first objective, where you can get an advantage for your team. So Born is doing a great job with exactly that as we're speaking. And with only 10 stacks on Thrall, you can tell that Arthas has really done well. 1 stack, by the way, on the Frostwolf pack. So with so many melee heroes, we are seeing Thrall trying to get the cooldown and mana cost reduction for his Frostwolf, for the Wolf. But needs to be a bit careful about stacking that, and can't die either, of course. Great potential against the Immortal now as well. Not only do you have Hammer in the setup, but the Hunter's Mark from Tyrande, the poke from Li Ming, Lauber again with a good dodge and slide afterwards, and the stacks keep coming for Henning as well as he gets the first one. And that's also the first Immortal. Pretty easy peasy here for Granit Gaming. Well played around them. So up to the top lane, the rotation is happening. As we're seeing them try and break through, Thrall has taken the bot lane. And now that Arthas is not sitting on his ass the entire time, he has a bit of an easier time to get at least a few hits together. But Born is already at it again. Top lane, on the other hand, that's a different story. That's where the party really starts, with the first Immortal, and Tai right behind it. on his Sergeant Hammer, trying to get a little bit of work in. I mean, they're gonna maybe get the fort. I don't really think so. They don't really have enough pressure potential here. Well, if they get a kill here, then they will definitely get the fort. Normally, you just see a bit of damage taken to it. But yeah, level 7 abilities now on both. 3 stacks for Thrall, by the way, in the Frost Wolf pack. Here comes again the slide. Death Knight getting low, and they should get the fort here, and indeed they do. Well done. Really well played. Tai completely unimpressed by all the attempts to take him down. That's an easy first structure, eliminated by Granit Gaming, as they do really well here topside. Down at the bottom of the map, Fury has missed the Wolf. Back to 0 stacks on his level 1, so Born must feel really, really good here. Born is handily winning the 1 versus 1 at this point. He denied a ton of stacks to Thrall on the Echo of Elements. He made it really, really difficult for him to also complete his level 4 quest. I mean, right now we are already 5.5 minutes into the game and Thrall has not completed Echo of Elements yet. That tells you pretty much all that you need to know here right now. So, doesn't mean that Fury can't have a big impact later on in the game, but his early game is definitely not as good as it could be. And now he's even dropped. So, yep, the counter kill against the Nubarak makes it a 1-for-1 trade. That makes it kind of worth it. But definitely a lot of aggression here against Thrall so far in the game. That said, Arthur's also with level 7 Icebound Fortitude, or kind of like that, especially against the Li Ming and Tyrande setup. You want to be safe here as much as you can be. And the push down at the bottom of the map. Of course, once we're having Thrall back in, the Ancestral Wrath can also help a lot. Lauba is moving in too. Nice slide. Arthurs, he should be dead. Ana can pew all she wants from the backline here with a heal. It's not gonna matter. Down goes Arthurs, well done. I mean, the important part for them was honestly to get Smaragd out of there with his Reyna, because that could have been a double kill for sure. Thrall should complete the Echo of Elements right now. There it is, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Again, pretty late, but that's not necessarily a problem of his play. That's also just Arthur's playing it pretty well. And again, the goal. Drop those fountains. Drop the fountains. Always drop them first when they're exposed. Even if you don't get the fort, you are taking a retreat point away from your opponent. But just look at experience. The Immortal is on the map and we have level 10s in. It's Mosh Pit, baby. And then seeing the Napalm. We could try and make the play here. Lauba is already itching on the R button. Can really tell. They have the damage there. There's the slide. But with Anubarak still free, he is not daring to drop the Mosh Pit here. That's just too much of an interrupt. There's too many interrupts here, to be honest. But this is the thing with Mosh Pit. You're not really forced to land that money mosh all the time. Even if you just hold it back, you're forcing your opponent to save a couple of cooldowns on the stuns just so you can't drop it. And that's oftentimes already worth it. Like a one-man mosh pit is also completely fine if you find an opportunity. Arthurs wants to go in, yeah, Born with the army as they're flanking here and trying to get the kill. Lauba's dodging a lot, but he can't dodge it all. Yeah, and that's nicely done. Good job, Alarak. Gets the kill in. Lauba played this really well at the start, dodged as much as he could, and once that he sees Arthurs pop the army, was also sliding in here. We're actually seeing the Divine Vendetta. Getting some momentum here, I like it. Really fighting into that. Fury is still there. 1 stack again on the Frost Wolf pack. So far only, the one that he just acquired. They're defending the Immortal as much as they can. But Arthurs is still topside, and that's of course one of the reasons why the Divine Vendetta is not venturing into that fight yet. But now that we're having Lauba back to business and soon back in the team fight, it's starting to become a bit of a different story. Here's the firing on the side the entire time. Thrall again. Isolator. ETC goes for Reyna. And they get Ana in the backline first of all. Mosh Pit. And the follow-up kill against Jimmy. And Henning again with a stun right here. Anubarak. Yeah, he can run. If they want him, they're gonna get him, but it feels like they don't even care too much, to be honest. There's another owl that really quickly comes through. They know exactly where he is, but they don't want to waste any time here. Well, to be honest, they have Shironto starting to come in, and he says, like, you know what? I'm gonna help out here. Yep, there's the kill. Gets the Calamity in the meantime, the halftime show is won by Granit Gaming as well. 5 kills against 3 for them. And obviously the pressure play at the bottom of the map still continues. Now personally, I still gotta admit that I am not a fan of Behemoth Armor. I don't really think that Smaragd is currently getting the value out of it. I personally feel that Fight or Flight is just a bit too strong to give up on it. There are certain instances where it can be different, but I don't really feel that the amount of stacks that he got so far really helps with this case. As it stands, though, we have another big Immortal coming in. There's a big boy right there, and that will not only just break through that bottom fort like it's made out of paper, but it is very likely to get quite a bit of value on the keep too, especially since level 13 is now ready. And that is starting to become extremely tricky. I mean, that fort isn't even there as the Immortal arrives. Damage on Li Ming on 23,000. Arthur's top damage for his team with 14k. But yep, there comes the move. Right there. Starting to move in and trying to see if they can maybe... but I like the Hyperion, and they're driving the fight away from them. Hammer is still set up at the sides here. Death Knight is pretty much getting wrecked, but they're body blocking Thrall quite nicely. But as you can see, it doesn't matter. Nubarak is already down. And the fight just continues. And it's not looking pretty. Slake is attempting the kill against Thrall. He doesn't get it. And now Lauba is just body blocking him as much as he can. Slake might get away, though. Impressive feat, to be honest. The Wolf doesn't connect, and that means that Fury once again is reset. But at least we have Li Ming get the kill against Arthur's. So still 0 stacks on the Frost Wolf pack on level 4 for Thrall. But the keep is going down. The keep falls, and they are 5 kills ahead. They have the keep eliminated, and they can just simply retreat from here. So far, everything points to Granit Gaming victory. But Divine Vendetta is honestly fighting back here. I mean, they have a lot of really cool moves that they already showed. I really like it. Done a couple of nice things so far, and they are holding up a lot better than I expected, to be honest. You gotta understand that Granit Gaming played fantastic in the Nut Cup. They had some absolutely stellar plays there, and it was oftentimes close when they were facing off against Washed Up. So Divine Vendetta already doing well in a lot of these team fights here, but it's pretty well for Division S as a total, I'd say. But let's see. You can at least see that Granit Gaming has a lot of respect here and doesn't take this lightly. So now that we have 13 talents on both sides, that might be another opportunity for the Divine Vendetta to fight back into this. But obviously they have to flip the switch at some point. Can't wait the entire time until your opponent has 16. With that said, Giddy Up, Smelling Salt as well. That's a pretty good one considering the amount of CC that we're having on the other side. The Shattered Armor, of course, is going to help with those kills too. Both of the teams are now going for their camps, and in the case of Granit Gaming, we have Fury even getting the additional Khazra camp at the bottom of the map. Damage output in this game so far, still very, very high on especially Li Ming. But you look at Hammer, and we have 28,000 against heroes now too, so that's pretty decent. And here comes the Immortal, and this is the big one. If you lose this Immortal, and it's pretty much, it should be lights out. For Divine Vendetta. If they lose this one and top lane keep is also eliminated, then even if you don't go for the core right away, it should be pretty much game set. Because that would be too much pressure in the late game, on those lanes, on both of them. And they pretty much give up the halftime show here. They're just saying, well, we have 2 camps coming through the bot lane. Let's give up the halftime show. That in itself, I really don't mind. I think it's pretty much a good idea to give up the halftime show here. Just say, okay, listen, guys, this is not realistic. We need to eliminate the pressure at the bottom of the map. The problem that I have with it is, now they have to fight against 16. I would have loved for them to just try and YOLO into the fight and say, okay, let's force something out in a Nubarak engage. Try and force the fight and the kill. Because once they have 16, how do we do this? Yes, the camps would have pressured against the core. You might have maybe even lost a few points on the core. But if you don't win this fight now, can you really win the game? So, yeah, that's the argument I would have made. But both are at the end of the day viable decisions. But now they have to live with the one they made. And they can't just sit here and wait for Li Ming to get those shots in all the time. We need to win something out of this. It's a 2-level difference here, and level 16 there too. But look at the positioning here. Lauba is in a great spot. Positioning for his team the entire time. Just absolutely setting this up. Good move by Tai too. Here comes the army as they're trying to engage. There's still no Cocoon. Still no moving. Great setup by Alarak though, and the kill against Tyrande. Nicely done. Well done by Slake. Born is low though, and Alarak himself is also in trouble. The Immortal Stun nearly takes him out, but it's Li Ming with a kill. But we have Reyna dropping him immediately. Bit of a dancing beetle in the back though, as Lauba drops the mosh pit and makes him bounce, and that's a 2-for-2 trade, which is a really nice setup in favor of Granit Gaming, since they still hold that level 16 talent advantage, and of course the edge on the Immortal race as well. They're starting to go in again. Top side is pressuring a little bit. They're even falling back for now. Starting to top up and move in again. But they're so close. Let's not forget that at the bot lane we have 3 catapults actually accumulating. That was an attempt to at least drop a few hit points off that Immortal. But at the end of the day, it feels like we're going to see Arthas. Arthas? Where's the wolf? He missed the wolf again! Come on, Fury, you're better than this. Oh, 3 stacks gone. Misses the wolf. Flower could have gone for the slide first. Either way, they get the Immortal, which is the important part. And now they have the chance, of course, to take that fight here too. Again, 16 is still missing. 16 is still missing on the red team side. Well, there comes the stun attempt against Martin. That didn't work out. Unable to move away, so it's Death Knight. But down at the bottom of the map, the defense already there against all of the catapults they had to, which means that they can face the Immortal up to the top a little bit later than they probably hoped for. There's the 16 finally, which gives us the epicenter. Embrace death as well. Panem Rat for Jimmy. This is the moment. This is the moment. That's the time right there. Can they get the kills? Can they get something done here? The Immortal is already dropping the key. You want? Oh, nice blink on the cocoon! Great play here by Li Ming, again anticipating it, of course, and then blinks the cocoon, and Anuburak is way too far out, gets lasered into the ground. That's the end of him. Nicely done by Shirionto. Great play by him. Born is low, and there's the slide, the pushback, and Arthas is dropped as we see the Immortal on its way to the core already. Yep, straight into the attack mode here. Good setup again from Slay. Quest actually has 25,000 damage here, but still, he's lasered away too. There comes a quick cooldown reset. Quest completed actually for Thrall. 16 in, and we have game number 1 ending in favor of Granit Gaming as they take the lead in the best of 5 here at Division S. GG and well played. Game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Granit Gaming looking good on the first map here, but Divine Vendetta having a couple of good moments there and fighting back. We actually have as the map choice right now, Infernal Shrines taken from Granit Gaming, as Divine Vendetta opted into having first pick for the second map. And again, I have to stress this from the start, this is obviously a huge favorite for Granit Gaming. Also, people that sometimes ask, hey, where exactly can I find information about all of this? Guys, right now, a lot of what we're having in the European Heroes of the Storm scene centers around Heroes Launch. So heroeslaunch.gg is the website you want to check out. If you're watching this on YouTube, there should be a link in the description that you can check out as well, but you can simply head over there. They have an amateur division that goes from Division 1 down to Division 7, and they also have now this semi-pro league Division S that you're watching currently. So there's like a huge amount of skill gaps that we have. You can play as an amateur, you can play if you're like Gold League, if you're Wood League, it doesn't really matter, but Division S is where the top 8 teams play, and this is also where we have a lot of the former HGC pros participate too, in the form of Washed Up, for example, with Granit Gaming here too, but also a lot of players that emerged after HGC was killed off by Blizzard. So there's a lot of that happening. That said, heading into our second draft here, we have again the bans against Zeratul and against Maiev. Diablo and also HANZO get banned out again. I mean, Diablo is pretty much a tank that most people get rid of right now. Anuburak, another one that's high up there. So let's see how the first pick is going to come in. Infernal Shrines obviously changes things a little bit. Wave clear is more important here. Li Ming doesn't quite get the value on this map that she gets on others. For Anuburak, nothing really changes. He's still very strong here too. So, yep, with that, we're having now the double pick opportunity on the other side. And especially with Henning, Tyrande could still be picked. Now, obviously on Infernal Shrines, you have other supports that really start to become strong too. You're looking for more wave clear, Rhaegar might be your boy. You want to go for Alexstrasza for more zone control and the Dragon Queen? Hell yeah, no problem. Infernal Shrine is the map to go for her. But Henning loves Tyrande, and for very good reason. So again, we have Tyrande here. And Shirionto, this time with Reyna. Played fantastic the last game. I mean, a lot of the moves that he made with Li Ming were absolutely fantastic here. But especially with the Anuburak take. And the question is, of course, still, do you go into Li Ming at some point? Is that something that you consider just to have the disintegrate? Problem is that around the shrine you usually don't get as much value with her as you would on other maps because there's too many minions in your way. And that's one of the big arguments against leaming on Infernal Shrines. Doesn't mean you can't play her. We have seen her played successfully, but she's not first choice on this map. Jaina and Malfurion are coming in on the side of Divine Vendetta, the ex-meme machine. And, well, with that, we're already having quite a bit of burst potential here for them. Tyrande will have to go into Celestial Attunement here to make sure that she is able to work around Anubarak stuns. Arthas gets banned out too, another great hero to control the zone on the shrine itself. And obviously on that off lane too. Well, and what are we gonna have as the ban on the other side? I mean, you could again try and ban out the front line here. If you're worried about something, especially Laura, of course, has set up a lot of the plays. Off lane is also another thing to consider. Are you trying to pick Leo for yourself? Are you trying to ban him out here? Are you maybe worried about something like Urel being taken? Imperius instead is getting banned? There's a couple of teams that really still favor Urel a lot. You look at Eternal, for example, on the side of Washed Up. They're playing a lot with Urel right now. And with a lot of success too. I mean, Washed Up is the team to beat right now in Division S. There's zero doubt about that. Granit Gaming is looking great. We have other teams that are looking really, really good, but Washed Up is currently definitely the top dog in the league. As Fury again with Thrall and Lauber going for Johanna, so the extra AoE on lane and on the shrine through the Condemn. Thrall giving it a second shot. Fury is saying like, guys, I want to redeem myself. Last game, finished the quest too late, 16 minutes in. It's not quite what I want here. Give me another chance, boss, please. Tag me in, and they do. So, well, last two picks, yeah. Offlane pick is what interests me right now. Blaze, Urel, Leo. It's Leo! And we are actually seeing Tracer played by Slake. I kind of wonder if Granit Gaming wanted to pick that, because again, Tracer was banned out in the previous game, and for good reason, because Ty is a really, really good Tracer player. It's fantastic on that hero, but they already have Reyna in the mix. So normally would expect... we've seen him actually on Ophia, for example. We would expect a mage here to be taken. Could play Ophia. Again, you want to go Gul'dan, you can Gul'dan too. A hammer again! Alright, worked the first game, why not try it in the second? It's hammer time once again, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into map number 2. Infernal Shrines here, Division S. Granit Gaming against the Divine Vendetta on Infernal Shrines. As to the left we have Granit Gaming start in blue with Henning on Tyrande, Shirionto on Reyna, Fury playing Thrall, Lauber on Johanna, and Ty on Sergeant Hammer. On the right side of the map, we're currently seeing Anubarak played by Death Knight, Slake on Tracer. Gonna try and make the plays here. Martin on Malfurion, Born on Leoric, and Smaragd on Jaina. Alright, let's see if Divine Vendetta can pull this one off. Again, Tracer is going to be super important here. And let's just face it, Slake played really well on the Alarak in the last game, so he did a great job with that. He had a couple of cool kills, he set up several others for his teammates and enabled them there. So we're going to see how much this is going to work out for them. I mean, at this point, let's see, we're already having the little brawl here in the middle, but we're going to see that rotation from Leoric to the top side in just a bit. Down at the bottom of the map, Ty is just chilling. So it's like, you go in with Hammer, you siege up, and you're like, guys, I'm going to get a coffee, I'm going to see you in a couple. So I'll see you guys later. It's pretty much Hammer plays most of the time. Yeah, but Ty, of course, has to play it safe here. He needs to be a little bit careful. Look at Henning, for example. Massively safe path towards the bot lane. Was well aware that there could be a trap here somewhere, so just takes the whole left side route, making sure that he is absolutely safe with this. That said, at the top, we're still having Fury playing his little game here. Born is doing well on that off lane. Again, I gotta give Born credit. Again, he is doing well with this setup. Still a couple of those stacks, of course, coming in, but Born is currently doing what he can to win that lane once more. Good offlaner so far. Bottom of the map, though, that's where the camp is all of a sudden being attacked. Henneke making himself in the back, trying to keep everybody safe here. Hammer also sitting in a decent position. Shirionto coming in. Today subbing in for Swamp Grotta here. And so far, doing extremely well in that sub role. I mean, again, the plays on Liming on the last map were pretty solid. So yeah, once again, down to the bottom of the map. That's where we have Slake starting to try and see if he can maybe make a play here. And they're still not taking that camp. They're actually playing this pretty slow here. Both of the teams are just eyeing each other, trying to find an opportunity. Shirionto finds himself in a good position. Ah, even dodging the immediate counterattack here. The bomb comes through, but still it's not enough damage. Getting, of course, the fight or flight in here too. Gets that activated. But now they have all the time in the world to get their camp eventually. But there's a slight advantage in experience on the other side. Nothing too crazy. Thrall, on the other hand, moves up top. Gets another couple of stacks together. Sitting at 11 now. The level 4 comes in for them too. And with that, we're soon going to have the first shrine activated. Yeah, again, the Frost Wolf back for him. Gets it again. Let's see how long it takes him this time to get it. And that's it. There's the activation at the top side. 5-man mid lane. They need to rotate back down though, or they're going to lose quite a bit of experience here, and that's where Leo has already had it. So yep, this wave is going to go down, heading with another quick owl to make sure that they're not getting flanked from here. Tyrande, when we're talking Tyrande, we're talking just about that damage, that Hunter's Mark, we're talking about the stuns, but it's unbelievable how much of a tool that owl is if you continuously drop it, and if you also have a bit of game sense and know where your opponent should be or where the danger could come from. It's such a nice thing to have that vision and that knowledge of where your opponent is, so that you can make safe plays and play right here. Shirionto eats that bomb again. Slake is connecting now for the second time. We don't get the attack initiated with the Nubarak like they were hoping for. With that follow-up from Martin on Malfurion, they could have maybe gotten the kill. But it seems that Granit Gaming is actually giving up the first one. They're saying, listen, we have Hammer. We can rotate Hammer topside later for the defense, but for now, we actually get a lot of damage here. And if they defend well, then the only thing they have to do in order to get enough value out of this one is take the wall. Because a well-defended Punisher shouldn't really get more than the wall itself. And that's pretty much what they're trying to play here. I mean, Henning is anchoring the play, again is getting the vision and actually hits it just in time to see the two coming in here. And they're getting the entire wall already, and they might even get some more. So, yeah, Lauber has to be also a bit careful. Nice, dodges the slow even, dodges the entire swing. Nicely done by him. He didn't have the Iron Skin anymore, so that was a good one. But now the Punisher gets taken up at the top side any second from the red team, but they're having another camp that they're grabbing down at the bottom of the map. They're just going for the trade here, and they have the early level 7 talent, which gives us, obviously, Celestial Attunement now too. That's a pretty good setup here. I'm actually liking this. Jimmy is starting to defend. They're going to bait this over as soon as they can. There's the vision provided as Thrall baits the Punisher over, and now they're trying to defend this as quickly as they can. At the bottom of the map, yep, there's the bomb again. Ty is still fine though, gets the auto attacks in against Slake. Nice! Henning again! Good move here from Slake getting out of this, but yep, Henning again on point with it. Yeah, but this is actually starting to become a bad trade, because I originally expected them to rotate Hammer out and to defend with more than 1 heroes. They didn't do that. So now the fort is down. Yeah, you might get the kill against Jaina, but to be honest, trading Jaina kill 5 minutes in with a 20-second death timer against a fort, I'll take that day any... that trade any day of the week. They're still ahead in experience because of all the lane XP that they soak, but they still need to try and get at least some structural damage in as well. And that's where they're focusing, at least on the bottom fountain. I mean, once again, here comes the attack from the back. Yeah, Ty is in trouble. Ty is pretty dead here. Like, he shouldn't live. He should not live. But Jimmy comes in, gets the penetrating round perfectly connected with two. Shirionto, that is, and pushes them back. That was, again, well done by him. That was a perfect penetrating round. Keep Anuburak at a distance. Ty was in so much trouble when they flanked behind him. But at this point, that was a really nice setup where you just made sure that nobody could get close to Hammer, because Ty already used all of his defensive tools at this point. He used everything. And that was a nicely done move here to keep him alive. But we're still very close on level 10 abilities at this point. Okay. We're having once more. Lauber get the camp over here. There's Thrall topside, still at 0 stacks, or well, again at 0 stacks for his level 4 Frostwolf pack. And there's the level 10 abilities. They're a little bit ahead in experience, but I don't really see them doing anything with it this early in the game here. So we have the Blunt Force gun this time, no napalm approach from their end. Fury just holding on to that. Has the first stack now again on the Frostwolf pack. The important part is really to get it around level 16. That's when you want to have the most value out of it. Of course, the sooner you can get it, the better. Shirionto this time was too far out. Oh my god, they drop everything here. Oh, yeah, they are done with that guy. They're just like, okay, I don't care anymore. we're gonna drop the cooldowns because I just hate that bastard. That's pretty much what they were thinking. It's like, that guy ruined too many plays. He's going down no matter what. Good play against him. He was a bit too far out there, and they nicely exploited that fact and just dove on him straight up. So yeah, well done. 2 stacks on the Frost Wolf pack for Thrall. We're going to keep our eyes on that. But yeah, that was a really, really nice play. And with that said, we're having, of course, still the attempted plays with the Cocoon if they make that at any point. And now, as we're seeing the next objective, spawn mid-side, still fairly even. Nice invade! I like it! Divine Vendetta! Ah, these guys are a lot of fun here, and that's the Cocoon on the ground that might still turn it. There's the triple entomb, Earthquake from Thrall, Smaragd comes in as well, and Leo gets out, but Lauber barely survives. Oh no! What a play! Lauber survives thanks to Tyrande and his own Iron Skin, and Slake goes down. That was a pretty awesome fight, to be honest. I liked the invade. I liked the idea a lot. It was well played by them. Not well enough, though. Couple of mistakes that were exploited, and then Slake tries to go in with the last and final hit. Nearly gets the kill against Lauber, but then Hammer drops Tracer. But again, I like the aggression. I like that they went for it. I really think that Divine Vendetta, with a bit more practice, will have a pretty interesting season here in Division S. They are one of the teams that made it through Division 1 in Heroes Launch into Division S. And obviously, while in Heroes Launch they were the top dogs, here they have to step it up a bit. But here comes the attempt to do exactly that. Ring of Frost already nearly dropping Ty, but he gets away and Leoric falls. The Cocoon is in, and here comes the Blunt Force Gun with a beautiful connect against Smaragd and Slake. Both of them are moving away here. Frost Wolf pack is completed now too, and it's too much damage. They have to retreat here. They have to try and tap if they still have the cooldown, but this is secured Punisher for Granit Gaming. Yeah, they're gonna have it right there. 3 kills against 1, but Divine Vendetta is fighting back, and again, we have to put this in perspective. Granit Gaming came in 2nd at the Nut Cup. Granit Gaming did extremely well in all of the past tournaments where they played here. Of course, now they are trying to gain that momentum for themselves, but in experience, it's still fairly even. But that level 13 advantage in talents is something they can now use to try and maybe force another fight there. So once again, we're having at the bottom of the map, Jimmy trying to push in together with Henning. The rest of the team is rotating in quickly too. And there's coming a little bit of a later rotation from Divine Vendetta, but still early enough to get most of the experience out there. And they have level 13 by now too. Which actually brings us to Burning Rage for Anubra, getting a little bit of additional AoE damage, which is going to help him later on those shrines. And also in these team fights. And I think especially now that Ominous Wrath is being played, this is going to be important. If you can limit the amount of damage that Ty on Hammer can push out, that's going to be worth a lot. Good invade here on the camp too. This time they're stealing it away. But yeah, Leo is going to have to play this right. And Born so far has played a great offlane. Now it's just simply a question, can he control Hammer? He had a couple of fantastic entombs already. Triple entomb up at the top. That is earlier one against Jimmy, where they were able to get their first kill in the game. I'm talking about kills in the game. Let's take a quick look at the damage output. Tracer on 12,000. But nobody gets even close to Jimmy and to Hammer. Both of them sitting around 25, 26,000. Lots of auto attacks coming in, which of course make especially the life of Tracer very, very dangerous. As Tracer, you're so mobile, you can dodge so many abilities, but try and dodge an auto attack. That doesn't really go well with you. So it's a bit of a problem if you're trying to make that play. Hammer in general is great against Tracer, and of course Jimmy too. So if you have both of them against you, whenever Slake jumps in and the two of them focus Tracer, yeah, he needs to get out quickly. I mean, Tracer is doing extremely well in a setup with Malfurion, and so far we had only 1 kill against Tracer. And Slake has created a couple of dicey moments here for the opponent, but he's just always just that little bit away from getting the kill. And they're still even in experience. Still even in experience here, and rotating on the map there. Jaina doesn't get quite as much damage out as she would probably hope for. With 6,000 on the baseline, she's still a fair shot away from getting the ice block. She would love to get here. But of course, still... Oh, there we go! They go for Lauber. There's the Iron Skin. Everything on Johanna. God, I love this about this team. They are absolutely willing to drop the cooldowns there, and they get the kill. Lauber is a bit too far out, and he goes down. Nicely played by Divine Vendetta. And Born in particular, I mean, he really just drops those entombs whenever he feels, okay, we got this. This is a great kill. It comes at a good time, too. Johanna will be back in time for the top fight, but this is going to give them a slight lead that might give them the early level 16. I highly doubt it's a time window they can capitalize on in any way, because we're seeing it so close for Granit Gaming too. But it gives them a little bit of momentum here. They have a little bit of control of the map that they can use to push out the lanes before they rotate topside. That was a good kill against Lauber. And now with 16 versus 16 talents, the map is still absolutely open. And let's not forget that we're actually having an advantage for the Divine Vendetta because they still have the fountain right here. Hugely important for this fight now. Well, as we talk about the battle, let's see if we're gonna have an engage. Leo, oh, this time he misses. Oh, that was bad. Ooh, Jaina is down. Yeah, that backfired quickly. The Entomb misses. The Ring of Frost that they threw out with the Entomb didn't really hit anything either. Then everybody gets pushed back by Tai, and it exposes Jaina to the rest of the team. That was... yeah, that was the worst case scenario right there. Oh, that must be annoying. I mean, put yourself in their shoes for just a moment. They were in a great spot at this point, or at least absolutely dead even. Then they make the engage happen, they flip the switch again, and this time just everything goes to shit. Nothing really worked out the way that they wanted here, and obviously now they are in a bit of trouble. They're not going to be able to get this one. The Punisher, that is. They're at least making the correct decision moving into the middle and getting value against the fort, and absolutely correct also to try and put a little bit more pressure onto the bottom of the map as well. But we're still seeing up to the top right. We're having the push now against the fort and already against the keep itself from Granit Gaming. And Granit Gaming, they want to keep at this point. They want to keep here. Well, Leo has to be back as well. Won't be able to get too much more. You kind of have to try and defend this. Good decision making from Granit Gaming too. I mean, I talked about how it was well done by Divine Vendetta to move into the middle for the fort. But taking Granit Gaming's approach to just counter and not trying to defend was absolutely correct here too. Nice setup again, but the immediate kill against Born. Leo is down. Leo is down already, and that's not good. There is an Arcane Punisher on the board, and guys, this could be game. This could be game. 5 versus 4 with an Arcane Punisher in. Follow-ups that we're having the entire time. Blinds coming out now too. This is not looking pretty at all. Hammer is hammering away, and they are just going for it. And Leo is not going to be back in time. There comes the Earthquake. They're making the play here. Death, oh my god. Tracer and the Nubarak both down, and the core is falling. Henning might die eventually, and indeed he does. But there's only Leo back on the ground. That's just simply not enough to stop Granit Gaming as they are going in for the kill. A 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series is their reward, as they win on Infernal Shrines against the Divine Vendetta. Game number 3, it's a 2-0 lead for Granit Gaming as we are heading into Volskaya Foundry. Potentially the last match against Divine Vendetta here. But I still gotta give it to Divine Vendetta. They're definitely improving. I can't wait to see them against teams that might not quite be on the level of Granit Gaming. And we have 8 teams in Division S. So let's see how this is gonna work out here. First pick, first ban, this time on the side of Granit Gaming, which actually means that Divine Vendetta, after the last loss, just said, listen guys, let's go to Volskaya, let's screw first pick, first ban, and pick the map instead. Which is exactly what they're doing here right now. So, Granit Gaming, what are we going to start up with for them? Can we expect the Hammer ban? Let's be honest here, Divine Vendetta should ban out Hammer. Volskaya Foundry is the map where Hammer was brought back into the meta by Rich himself. And now the opportunity to ban Hammer out, or, obviously, pick Hammer for yourself. Both of that is fine. But they have to address it somehow. Another hero that you could ban out if you really wanted to would be Tyrande. Just get Henning off Tyrande. Maybe just because you're saying like, well, listen, this is going to be a little bit tricky here. Maybe he's good with other heroes too, but let's push him away from his go-to hero. You have to decide for yourself, okay, how much of a problem is that for us? But then again, in the ban patterns that we had so far, one of the constants outside of Maiev was Zeratul. So... there's the Anubarak ban right now. Are we going to see Zeratul banned out? Are they going to ban Hammer? Are they going to try and save the Hammer ban for third? And gamble a little bit? That's not going to be a pick before? That's one of the questions. Alright. I'm actually curious what they decide here. If they pick... Okay, they ban Zeratul again. So they're pretty much saying, you're not going to pick Hammer that early, or we're going to pick it for ourselves. HANZO taken. Looking for Honor again. Honor! I wonder if he screams that in the bedroom as well. Not that I want to experience it firsthand, but hey. At this point, I'm curious. Do you pick Hammer for yourself? Do you hope they don't take it? Alright, Diablo and Malfurion. Diablo didn't get banned this time, and this time it was a Nubarak. Another question. Granit Gaming, do you pick Hammer now? Or do you risk it getting banned out? Or do you just don't care about Hammer because you have HANZO this time? I like these little mind games. A lot of people look at drafts and are saying like, hey, it's the same heroes all of the time. And in a lot of cases, it kind of is correct to an extent, but there's these little twists that you have, especially throughout the series, how you react, that are super interesting to watch and observe. Because it's about how does my opponent react to special picks that I have or preferences that I usually play with. And now Divine Vendetta has to make a choice. Do you address Hammer, yes or no? Simple as that. Do you go for an offlane ban? Do you try and ban out Tracer, for example, because Tai is fantastic on Tracer too? Do you pick Tracer for yourself now that you already have Malfurion? And they ban Hammer. Hammer is banned. Could still pick Tracer, because if they don't, I guarantee you that Tai is probably sitting in voices like, please, Daddy, please! Daddy Lauber, give me Tracer. Well, Henning is actually leader here, so he might have the ban, he might be the one making the decisions. But I can just like see Tai in the background just like begging to get Tracer. I would still expect Divine Vendetta to take it for Slake, to be honest. Getting the Alarak out. Now another chance for Slake to get Tracer. Before he might have like switched to Alarak. Born on the off lane. I would like Blaze. Blaze is just so good on this map. Blaze, Urel. He could play Leo, but Blaze and Urel just feel like a little bit better with Diablo here in this setup. Alright. Are they gonna pick Tracer though? Ooh, Thrall. Alright. Thrall, Junkrat. Thundering against potential Mosh Pit, I guess. Junkrat too. Tai is begging at this point. Team is enjoying that in voice. They're like, yeah, make him back. Make him back. And Tai is just sitting there, please. Are we gonna get his Tracer? Could be Liming too. I mean, let's face it, he's pretty solid on that as well, even though it was played by Shirionto in the first game, who is now apparently switching onto HANZO. Ooh, Chromie! Alright, that's a new one. I don't think I've seen Tai on Chromie yet. At least has been a while. Interesting. Get bodied, son. Lauber, Turanda, and well, ETC Turanda, and a Chromie behind that. Alright. Call me intrigued. Liking this one.
Let the games begin.
Indeed, Medivh. Let the games begin. Medivh against Chromie. Not a bad choice here, for sure. Alright. I'm game. Let's go. Game number 3, Volskaya Foundry. Can Divine Vendetta do it? Or will Granit Gaming win the best of 5 here? We'll find out right now. Game number 3 and potentially the last map of this series. To the left, Fury on Leoric. Handing on Turanda, Laub on ETC, Shirionto on HANZO. And we have Tai on Chromie. And on the other side, towards the right side of the map, we have Divine Vendetta with Death Knight on Diablo. We're seeing Slake on Medivh, Martin on Malfurion, Born on Thrall, and Smaragd on Junkrat. Curious to see if that play on Chromie is going to work out here. I'm already eager to see the Sandblast quest. I'm already eager to see the stacking here. So let's see how this is going to work out. Also, since it was asked in chat a little bit earlier and we got some additional information, people have been asking, where's Sugar Daddy 69? We're kind of missing him here a little bit. And yeah, apparently we're told he went hardcore relifing. Look at it, dancing here. Fury likes to clap. Yeah, so apparently Sugar Daddy went hardcore relife. I personally think it's a little bit overrated, but I heard that the graphics are really, really awesome. So with that, he apparently can't really put in the time to play with the team now. I'm actually not quite sure if he's still part of the roster as like a bit of a potential sub for the future. I guess eventually we might see him back in here, but for the time being, Born has taken over the offlane duties now. So with that said, there's already 15 stacks. How the fuck did he get 15 stacks already? He might, like, he cheated somehow, right? He's at 16 stacks already. Did I miss something? I feel I missed something. Something doesn't quite work out here. Tai is already murdering it right away. I mean, I'm really curious to see his damage output towards the later stages. It's not only him. I mean, you have the setup from Hennings, Tyrande, from ETC in the power slide. So that's actually really, really solid if you want to get a bit of damage in. Then on the other hand, the counter argument is always that Medivh is able to get his damage out too. Sorry, the damage mitigation. He's going to get that out with the shields that he can play here. Well, that said, it's all about the items. Again, 2 of the turrets are already taken, and it of course means healing beacon. Going for that immediately. So, there we go. 17 stacks so far. Let's see how exactly this is gonna get together for Chromie now. I mean, now that he doesn't get the combos out as much anymore as in that skirmish in the mid lane, progress has a little bit slowed, but still, 17 stacks this early in the game, that is pretty impressive. Of course, getting that stacked up bonus is pretty sweet, but I think that's the fastest start into a game with stacks that I've ever seen from a Chromie. Granted, it's not a hero that has been played massively or anything, but we had AD with the occasional Chromie game. There's a couple of teams that went into Chromie. Born, by the way, just goes full on dancing. Fury and Born are just dancing here. Offlane is weird in Heroes of the Storm. I mean, there were literally times where offlaners would just sit there and pretty much not do anything for like the longest time because you didn't want to push your lane out. So it is a little bit... well, it was silly at times. It's a bit better these days, but still. Now 15 stacks on Medivh. Of course, Slake has to be careful on Medivh here too. Don't want to die before your quest is completed. Especially around the first objective. That could become troublesome. But yeah, that's especially the chance where we could see additional stacks coming in from Chromie herself. So yeah, we're having a little bit more happening down here where the control is currently being fought over completely, especially with the zoning of Junkrat. 16 stacks from Thrall, so Born is actually doing fairly well here with the stacking process against Fury. Hasn't completed it yet, but is definitely about to once that Leo is forced back a bit. There's a level 7 talent already in the hands of Granit Gaming. Another small advantage moving in. Fury not swiping right away. We get the drain against Diablo. But now the Chromie is back here. They're actually taking full control of this. So they're starting to get the stacking process going. We're still having Chromie firing away. I mean, Tai is sitting there. It's like, well, might as well. Don't have to hold back here. There's a quest completed by Thrall. Job well done. Before 4-minute mark. Very good job by Born. And there's, of course, now also the double stacks. And that's really important. There's a double charge that you can use whenever they're going into the fight itself. 19 stacks already for Chromie. Trying to get a bit more through here. Always staying in the back, obviously. Connects another one, sitting at 20. Let's see how much combo potential Tai can get here. Hits another one. Tai is actually starting to really capitalize on the fact that everybody is stacked up on that point right now. Yeah, this one was missing though. It was a close call. It basically just touched Death Knight, but didn't quite connect here. But Tai is still getting value. And there's the ult now coming in, and they get some damage on Death Knight. They get a lot of damage on Death Knight. Whoa! And actually, the protection just comes in time as Slake is making sure that their frontliner doesn't fall. Fury is very low. Got poked by Thrall apparently in the bot lane. 31 stacks already for Chromie. Doing a great job here. And again, a fight over the control point, but it's safely in the hand of Granit Gaming. doing really well, and Chromie is... well, she's doing work. I should take a look at the damage output here. 9,000 damage. Well, Thrall is starting to poke a little bit harder, but once they be going to later stage of the game, I think Chromie can really start firing away there. Well, so far so good. I like that we have Chromie in here. This is a map where Chromie was played a lot, especially ADRD played Chromie quite a bit because he could stack quite easily against the Protector. He oftentimes gave the first one up, tried to find value somewhere else on the map, and then stacked Chromie heavily against the Protector. That was, for example, true at the Western Clash at the beginning of 2018 in Katowice. But it really looks like they're going, in this case, Granit Gaming is going to win the first one quite handily. HANZO, of course, poking the damage through the entire time. But now that we're having the Protector in their hands, this is looking really, really solid. In a great spot here. 37 stacks already for Chromie. So this is going to be a great one for her. Jumping into the Protector for now, so we're going to have that a little bit later. Important is also that Slake is still alive. With 32 stacks, you don't want to fall here. And you got to be a bit careful. I mean, again, you have the Protector against you. You see Slake with good hits coming out to start and complete that quest. But still, a little bit of spend a lot of time in the middle here. Get the fountain down, but I'm still a little bit surprised that they're not making the play towards the top side. But they have two heroes focusing on that, so as soon as they go to the wall and drop the fountain, I'm going to be a happy panda, but just getting the fort in the mid lane usually doesn't quite do the trick for you. But with two heroes still occupy top lane with the defense, the Protector has an easy time getting the entire structure here. And that's what they do. 18 seconds left, might be able to walk to the top if they want to. Get another wave taken down. There's a quest completed for Medivh. That was an important one as well. Open the wall up here. Another 9 seconds on the Protector. Trying to get the damage in, but I don't think... can they actually get something here? Not too much. But with the wall open, their chances of taking the fountain before the objective spawns are still pretty decent here. 18 stacks also already on the prog rock. Really, really nice. That's a great talent to have for the added sustain here during the fights. In experience, the two teams are still fairly even. Divine Vendetta is again slightly behind though. And it's the battle for the items again. We're still having the healing beak in Lauber's hands. They have the turret. Shots are continuously fired here by Chromie as Ty is trying to get his stacks up as quickly as he can. Goes actually for the timeout here. Good boy. Good boy. Timeout, great talent now, of course. Fantastic choice. And they're starting to make their play. The rogue abilities on both sides, which gives us the Apocalypse. Trying to make the play here. They're going straight for it. Here comes the Earthquake and the Apocalypse. Barely surviving for now, but Fury gets the trade value right there. And Death Knight gets the healing beacon. Good fight by Divine Vendetta. Using that encounter here very, very well and making it hard for Granit Gaming to get anything done. And 8 minutes in, Ty completes his quest. Every single time I'm not looking, he's cheating somehow and hitting like 50 combos at a time and gets insane combo value right there. I mean, this is a little bit crazy. 8 minutes in, not bad, my friend, not bad. So let's see how much damage he can actually push out with this. Well, there comes for now at least the turret invader at the bot lane. Single kill, by the way. It's the only kill, the one against Leoric that they got. Nothing else. With that said, we're already having the rotation up to the top side. Keep in mind, we've talked about it earlier. You want to take this one down. Exactly. It's getting pinged now too. And that fountain is going to fall. Yeah. There's like no one even defending it. They're currently still busy rotating. Fountain down. So the advantage at least secured for the objective itself. And let's not forget, Lauber actually dropped the healing beacon that he held earlier when they were fighting over the camp. So he lost that one too. They still have 2 turrets that they can rely upon, but still. It's not bad. Down to the bottom of the map. Born right now. Born, by the way, not going into a Frost Wolf pack battle with Fury. Didn't go for the level 4 talent. Did a great job completing his Echo of Elements, but didn't get tempted to do anything else here. Now with that said, Chromie is still getting some solid damage in. And I mean, obviously, with the completion, we're now seeing especially the Sandblast Echo. And for the team fights over an objective that is this stationary, that's always a fantastic tool to have in the arsenal. Talking about tools, having trade value is also fantastic, and Fury takes full advantage of this at the bot lane. Gets ganked by Death Knight and Born as they are both jumping in. But Chromie is already anchoring the play up at the top. Nice, just sitting there. Gets a little bit of extra damage out. Nice connect here against Smaragd, but Malfurion was already here for the heals. So for now, Still value from Thrall bot side. That's additional experience for them. I really like this. But still, you have to try and get the objective itself, and that's going to be a little bit hard. I know that it's a 5-man top lane. And Leo is back to business. Here comes the Entomb. And the kill. The shield a bit too early. And Ty with the damage. Absolutely bodying his opponent here. And trying to make the play for Born, who's running out of mana too. And well, that is not really the setup that you want. Once again, we are seeing Granit Gaming look really, really good here. Chromie not quite connecting with the damage numbers of Thrall or HANZO, but still getting a lot of work done with this too. And they are already pushing the top fort. So the more damage you can actually do against the top fort here, the more tempting it becomes to go for the keep on the top lane. If you get a talent advantage with this, then you're always tempted. But as we said before, you kind of want to focus on the bottom lane and at least get the fountain down there. It depends a bit on the circumstances. If you just feel you can get the fort here and then maybe snowball it towards the keep, you can oftentimes see that play being made. But obviously, if you're trying to prepare for the third objective, then it's a rotation bot side. That is a little bit more advantageous to you. Oh, well, there's the Protector. I mean, they should get this fort anyways, but I would be surprised if they push it through to the keep, to be honest. They don't have a talent advantage. They are 15 versus 15 right now. This time, we actually have this Ty jumping into the Protector. Yep, he's gonna jump in. Alright. Yeah, they're getting this one quite easily. Shifting Sands are now taken too. And now just the question, rotation? Yes, indeed, they're starting to rotate down. Oh, there's a bit of an attempt. Fury goes away. Here comes the epoch play, and they might get Henning. Yeah, that looks good for them here. They get the kill. Nice engage around the Protector. Well done. Again, I like what Divine Vendetta does. They have a couple of really cool setups, and Slake, of course, empowers them with all of those quick portals that he has to be even more aggressive and jump on these targets. And then you see Death Knight with the APOC combo, and it works out well. Now they can try and defend the bot lane and make sure that the Protector doesn't get too much. And they have to be careful. It's another 25 seconds. Obviously, you want to try and burn that down. They're already dealing with a minion wave quite easily. But the fountain should still fall. You should still be able to get the fountain if you play your cards right. And again, it's only 10 seconds. But you open the wall. Gives you something. It was a good kill against Tyrande. It really, really helped. No, they didn't quite as much as they were hoping for. At the end of the day, they got the fort, and they got a little bit of value down here, and that's about it. It was actually pretty good for the first player. It was a good offense here. And it's 16 versus 16 now. Thunderstorm on Thrall. For the additional control with the slows now too. And ETC actually with the aggressive shredding. Alright. Guitar solo cooldown reduction here. But also in a few levels we're getting the additional upgrade for Ty, who's already anchoring the top side as everybody is looking towards that mech again, and the additional healing beacon that he can drop. 3 turrets in the hands of Granit Gaming here. But the games are getting closer and closer and closer. It's really interesting. Like Divine Vendetta is a little bit slow out of the gates, but they are starting to pick up some momentum here. Now against the team at Granit Gaming, that might be a bit too late, but again, there's potential. There's definitely potential here. Ty could just body this one. I feel that's going to come in any second. Yeah, and they're making the play, of course, once again for it. The problem for Divine Vendetta is you can't really defend this one. They are trying to get the healing beacon. They're actually sacrificing the entire fort at the bot lane just for that additional item. That gives them a second healing beacon in addition to the turret that they're holding, but they're losing this one. So, a little bit interested to see how they're... I was kind of interested to see if they maybe make a play for the top here and at least break through the wall, but they don't. They actually just try and defend the bot lane as much as they can. They're still more or less guaranteed to have an even fight over objective number 3. I don't think that we're going to talk about a massive experience lead that translates into an additional Storm talent here. But it's a fight that you kind of have to win at this point then. Because now they don't have a single fort on the map anymore, and they themselves haven't taken a structure yet. That is pretty problematic in the long run. So with that said, Chromie has her 20 or her 18, gives us the piercing sands. A little bit of additional damage out there now too. And well, with that said, he still start to take that slight lead because of the passive experience. I mean, we can take a closer look at that too. Passive experience, 4,000 experience lead already because of that. It's pretty good. Pretty decent. You can see at the minion experience, by the way, that this game, Divine Vendetta, has done a lot better when it comes to just catching the waves, the minion waves. We've seen it especially at the bot lane, as Born was usually able to catch an additional wave before he rotated into the fights, so that worked really well for them. Yeah, but the passive experience, that's the thing. Bit of free damage against Fury. Death Knight, yeah, gets the stun. Alright, that should be a kill. That should actually be a kill. He doesn't have the cooldown ready. Yep, doesn't have the cooldown, and even with the drain, that's Leo down. Nicely done by Death Knight. Finds the wall stun here, just as Leo was already out of harm's way. Control point unlocks in a few seconds, 19 on both sides. But yeah, we are starting to head into a pretty important fight for this game. This is the fight that will most likely decide the game. Even if it doesn't end right now, if Granit Gaming gets that Protector, even if the game doesn't end immediately, they should have such a big lead from map control alone after this one. It's very difficult to come back. So this is the big one to win. If Divine Vendetta takes it here, we're going to look at a pretty much dead even game. Experience is already absolutely on point, and now they get the lead because Leo is still dead. I mean, thankfully for them, it's Leo that died, so he doesn't have any travel time. He's gonna spawn right there. He actually starts rotating mid-side because they're trying to get 20 before their opponent does. Yeah, they're gonna try and get a level 20 lead. That's why Smaragd is headed this way too. Especially Buried Alive, of course, would be fantastic. Now, their 20 is going to be a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot sooner. It's still going to be a good fight here. Nice attempt. Right, the entire time. Tempted to go for the portal, leave the portal, the conveyor belt is moving through. Nice stun. Good against Lauber. Death Knight needs some help here though. Gets it for now. Trying to control the point, and Diablo is fully back in. Gets barely saved by Medivh, but goes down eventually. HANZO with a drop. 20 is already on Granit Gaming. What a timing. What a timing. Unbelievable. Granit Gaming gets the perfect fight here, and Divine Vendetta is done goofed. That was unfortunate from Divine Vendetta. They kept Death Knight on the point because they were hoping to make sure that Granit Gaming can't secure it in any progress, but just because of that they were forced into a really bad fight. Lauber did fantastic controlling the portal, just standing on top of it, just trying to push the opponent back. Death Knight could not get out, then the time trap comes in, and the time loop, and 20 hits just there, and it's maybe like a 10-second window for 20, but it's all that they need. Divine Vendetta with a great game so far, but then that mistake towards the end, they should have just let that go. Good dodge here from Death Knight. drops the immediate spray here, just as we're seeing Junkrat actually die. He grabs the turret at least, and Junkrat is lost, but Junkrat got HANZO'd. He got HANZO'd, and we're looking at the end of the series, I think. But yeah, that was pretty rough going there. Death Knight, again, hindsight being 2020, should have moved back here. Should have not stayed on the point. They should have waited for that 20 and then just make the fight happen, make the engage happen. Doesn't quite work out. HANZO with the arrow, that one misses. They're starting to make the play, and of course, this has to be lights out. I mean, there's no Junkrat. You have now 20 versus 20. We're 18 minutes in, but Diablo's trying to go for the combo. They're trying to go for HANZO. They can't get the kill there, and already we're seeing that absolute monster, that beast of a Protector, jumping in and trying to get kills, but they're not going for the core right now. They're actually letting themselves fall past this. Diablo protected for now. Hellgate's away. That fight is still raging on, like, damn, son. And they're going for Henning, and they might actually get the kill. They're likely to get it. Diablo goes down. Henning is... How the fuck is Henning still alive? Finally, he's dead. But that Protector is down to 40%. Thrall dies too. Ooh, and HANZO is dead as well. Alright, they're kind of buffer stats right now. But I'm not sure if they can still end. I honestly don't know if they can still end. They might. They have 24 seconds, 10%. Core goes down, 50. Yeah, that should be it. That should be it. That Protector's just too strong. Nicely done. Oh, well. They're trying to get another kill. Good job against Martin here. And also another big connect from Chromie. Sitting at 55,000 damage right now. And Lauber is finally done with this. Hits the guitar right on the core. And this is a 3-0 victory for Granit Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Here at Division as GG and well played. As Divine Vendetta goes down on Volskaya Foundry.